The partial shipping feature is available in the professional version of Credit Card Advantage. This feature is mainly used when book quantities in a sales order exceed the number of items available. While transferring the order to an invoice, the shortage part will be automatically placed into a back order, and if partial shipping is enabled, a new book transaction will be processed for the back ordered items. To use partial shipping, this feature must first be enabled in the CCA Setup window. Go to Transactions, then Credit Card Advantage, Setup. Click on the lookup icon to bring up the list of setup IDs and select the ID you intend to use with the partial shipping feature. Once the setup ID is selected, click on this blue arrow to expand the window. Click Transactions Setup. Now you'll see the advanced features available. Since we want to enable partial shipping, check Partial Shipping. On a side note, notice that here we have a multiple booking feature also available in the professional version of Credit Card Advantage. These two features conflict with each other, so these should not be enabled at the same time. Save the changes to the setup ID. Now, let's see how this works. Create an order document, enter a batch ID, and for demonstration purposes, let's enter two items here. One that is currently available, and one that is not available. Credit Card Advantage will book the total amount and transfer this pre-authorized amount into an invoice for the available item like usual. Then, since we need to create a back order for the items that are not available, Credit Card Advantage will automatically create a second book transaction for the unavailable item if partial shipping is enabled. This ensures that there will be sufficient funds on the customer's credit card or account by the time the item is available to ship, so we have no problems capturing the balance. If partial shipping is disabled, CCA will not generate that second book transaction for the back order. Once the quantity is set for that particular item and we tab out, the Sales Quantity Shortage Options window automatically shows up for us since we do not have enough inventory of this item. Under Options, select Back Order Balance. Click OK, and then book the transaction. This brings up the Nodus e-transaction entry window like usual, where we can enter the customer's credit card information, or click on this lookup icon to select a previously used card saved in the Nodus credit card wallet. Once all the information is ready, click Process. In a matter of seconds, we get the approved message back. Now let's look at the transaction report. See here that the funds have been booked for both the available and unavailable items, but not captured yet. Notice in the Authorized Transactions window, the information also shows that we have successfully booked the total amount of this order. The next step is to go to Actions, then Transfer. Checkmark Transfer to Invoice, include totals and deposits, and create back order. Click Transfer. Let's take a look at the transfer report on our screen. The report indicates that two documents were transferred successfully by GP to these document numbers. The original book transaction is associated with the new invoice. And because partial shipping was enabled, a new book will be made for all the items on this back order using the on-account amount. And now, we have the back order document. As I mentioned earlier, CCA automatically booked the amount for the back ordered item as seen in the Authorized Transactions window below. Save the document. At this point, the available items may be shipped to the customer via the invoice document. Let's quickly go through the steps to process the ship transaction on the invoice. Here's the approved message. And viewing the report on our screen, notice that only the booked amount for the available item has been captured. Also notice in the Sales Payment Entry window, the payment line has been inserted by CCA. Save the document. So let's say a few days later we have the back-ordered item in stock and we now have to ship that to the customer. Open up your back-ordered document, then go to Actions, then Transfer. Check Mark Transfer to Order. Click Transfer. Let's view the report on our screen. The report shows that one document was transferred successfully as expected. Now we have an order document, and we simply need to transfer this document to Invoice. Checkmark Transfer to Invoice, and include totals and deposits, then click Transfer. Once the document is in Invoice, the item is ready to ship. From the Authorized Transactions window, change the type from Book Transaction to Ship Transaction. Then click Ship. The information is now being sent for processing, and within seconds we get the approved message back from the payment gateway, meaning that the transaction was processed successfully. Looking at the receipt on our screen, we see that the totals and everything else are correct. The funds are now captured, and from here we can print the receipt or send it to the customer via email. And that ends our quick tutorial on how to use the partial shipping feature in the full version of Credit Card Advantage. For more information on this and other features, please refer to the CCA User Guide or visit us online at www.nodus.com.